Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue or Southeast Asia TV. Tonight I have the pleasure to have my friend once again to come back, Robert Elliot, who is the CEO and Managing General Manager of Manulife in Cambodia, to come back and we sort of catch up because it's about a year ago, I invited him here to sort of like discuss the beginning of an industry, which is the life insurance. And it's been over a year now. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to have him back here and sort of like looking back a bit, how has the industry developed? What's the impact on the local economy? What's the prospect of the future? What can we learn from it? What can the Cambodian society learn from it? So on that note, I'm very pleased Robert, to welcome you again.
Right, thank you very much.
It's been about a year since you were here last time, and much have happened.
Yes.
So tell me, my life has been in Cambodia 2 years, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
2 years at the end of June 2014.
Yes. Okay.
So when I met you just over a year ago,
Yes.
We were just beginning to get our business established here.
Yes.
And we had just about to launch our education policy. So it's been a very interesting and exciting period over the last 2 years.
You moved to a nice building on the main road, I can see.
Yes, we've got, we're on the Russian Boulevard, Siri Tower.
Quite prominent from the airport, is good.
Yeah, and actually we've taken additional floors in that building.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, we've actually managed to also open up a new customer service center, which is actually on the ground floor of that building. So it makes it much easier for our customers to be able to come in and be serviced and get information about their policies and pay their premiums,
so
etc.
How is the campaign, the education campaign work? You see some good awareness, better understanding of the industry?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we started in 2012, Manulife made a commitment to MEF that part of our strategy had to be about educating the public on the role of life insurance and what life insurance would mean to individuals. And we have run many seminars now, and I think we've had something like 25,000 people attend. They've attended seminars, education seminars, training programs for us, and it's been very interesting to see how people's questions have changed over that time, and how quickly people are beginning to learn about the company. We've also invested in our brand, because one of the most important things I think is that people hadn't heard of Manulife, and they needed to know, can we trust this company? And how long will the company stay in Cambodia? Does it have a long-term commitment? And of course, Manulife was established over 126 years ago in Toronto. It's a Canadian company. And actually only 10 years after the company was launched, it actually opened up in Asia. So I think it was around about 1897, Manulife opened up its first operations in Asia, in Hong Kong, in China, and now is actually in 11 Asian countries. And 7 of them are ASEAN countries.
Indeed. Wow, so I mean, it's great because 7 out of 10 is not bad, but anyhow, it doesn't matter 7 or 8 or 9, or it's just that in a year and a half from now, Cambodia will be part of the ASEAN community. In there's this pillar called the ASEAN Economic Community. So I think there'll be a lowering of the border barrier, much free flow of goods, service, and products and everything. So I think you're on the right track. You are capturing a good share of the ASEAN market already.
Yes, well, Manulife certainly is in and continues to grow in all of our ASEAN countries. And Cambodia now is a very important part of that.
Yes.
And so, as I said, what we've seen is people's understanding of life insurance beginning to increase.
I see.
And also, life insurance has a very important role in any country's economy.
Yes. Yes. Give me a few examples.
Okay, well, the industry's over 300 years old.
Yes.
It started off in the UK, in Europe, and has been established there for centuries. It's been established in Asia for over 100 years, and as I say, it's recent to Cambodia.
Yeah.
But the three main roles that it has in a community is that it's a long-term business.
Yes.
So, life insurance companies enter into a long-term relationship with their customers. And because of that, it gives the company the opportunity to invest premiums into the local economy.
Yes.
And this has actually happened, throughout the world.
Yeah.
And as Cambodia's economy starts to develop and become more mature, there will be that opportunity for the life companies to actually invest in the economy through the fact that it has premiums coming into its policies, which then need to be invested.
Yes, indeed.
The other thing that it does is it actually has a great social benefit.
In what way?
In the fact that if somebody was to die unexpectedly, the policies then pay out, and they're protecting people's long-term financial future. And that is something that Cambodians really haven't had the opportunity to do.
Yes.
Because, most of us don't realize that over our lifetime, we will earn actually quite a lot of money. When you add it all up over 20, 30, 40 years, you will earn a lot of money. A lot of people don't underwrite that future income. They don't insure it. And so therefore, if anything happens to them, actually
the family suffer.
That money is not going to come because the main breadwinner is not here to deliver it. So the great social benefit is that should that happen, people can ensure that their family's financial future is secure.
And the last one, there's three things you mentioned.
Yeah, and the third one is really the career opportunity that it creates for the people, because we're building up our business. We have something like over 90 staff working for us here now.
That's a very good size.
We have over 1,000 insurance advisors who are out there marketing our products, and we've also expanded into bank assurance. So all of those create employment for people, and obviously they're all paying taxes, etc. So in many ways the company is actually making a contribution to
employment, to local economy. Knowledge, I think, is important. In the morning, my wife and I, we exercise, we jog, on the treadmill. And what we do is that, we always put some self-improvement video. With time flies faster, right? Yeah. And this morning we had we listened to Brian Tracy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right. And how to become a self-made millionaire. But it's not about making the million, right? But it's about the self-improvement, and through learning, through perseverance, through hard work, through I don't know, but it's a lot of the ingredient for people like in this particular industry, how they self-motivated and set up their goal, for themselves, but through their success, they're able to contribute a lot to other people's success. You know? So that's something quite interesting. You have this sort of a program for your staff in terms of.
Yes.
Career improvement, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we run a training program for all our staff.
Yes.
And in fact, Later on this year, we're going to be opening up the Manulife Academy of Excellence.
Oh,
it's going to be a training, a dedicated training center, where all our advisors will be able to do our training all in one area. Because at the moment, we're having to spread it out. But Manulife prides itself on its training throughout Asia. And in Cambodia, we are setting up our Academy of Excellence, and it will be, our head of training is a Cambodian. There's a lot of talent in this country, and a lot of enthusiasm to learn and to develop. Our industry is very well known through organizations like $1 Million Roundtable. That's an American organization, and that does promote self-improvement, goal setting, people achieving goals and sharing best practice. And that's something actually that's also very important.
I think here, how I see in the Cambodian society now is a lot of drive for excellence. I mean, they at their level, right, at a different level. But when you see the entrepreneur thriving in Cambodia, that's probably, to me, if I distinguish Cambodia and a few other countries, is that when you get off the airplane, you feel that entrepreneurship. You feel the drive to succeed, the catching up. And in a way, what your company does is, in fact, giving certain opportunity for some people, to advance, right? Not necessarily, people need to go to get a PhD and succeed in life, There are many opportunities that can be offered by a company like yourself.
I think helping people realize their potential. And really helping them set their goals and giving them an industry which has a huge amount of job satisfaction. The fact that you can help people and protect people for their long-term future. I mean, as I said earlier, one of the policies which have been very successful for us has been education. So people being able to plan for their children's education, going to university, either in Canada, or America, or Australia, or the UK. It's not cheap.
It's not
cheap. And you have to plan for it. And so we've found great success with our education policy. But you see, the great thing about the life insurance industry is that if something happens to the breadwinner, that education money is immediately secure. So that can help the family ensure that they can plan their long-term future. And the opportunity for members of our staff to go out and help Cambodian people understand that and help them buy the right kinds of policies.
It's one of the great things that I quite proud, right? And again, in the light of the upcoming ASEAN Economic Community, is that I see the different, in Cambodia is that, yes, we come out of the post-crisis. 20 years ago, we are struggling. But now you see the big difference is that you see an investment, right, in education in almost every family, depending on their ability, their income, their revenue ability, they invest accordingly, and that's why you see the thriving of all this education facility, because they thrive because there's demand, right? And this education facility is not cheap, but yet people invest because they know that they didn't have a chance, to be fair to them, to maintain the parent. They don't want the thing that they went through, which is the difficult year, no access to education. Now they don't want to have their children go through that. So there's a lot of a psychological dimension behind, and that's why when you stress the angle of securing education, a future of their family, you get a lot of traction.
Yes,
you know?
and it's very, very important, and I agree with you that I think some people didn't have that opportunity,
Yes.
and they do know that Cambodia's future are its children, and it's being able to educate them and give them the opportunities that maybe they didn't have.
Yes.
And you know, we are delighted to help facilitate that, and that a company like Manulife can play a big role in that.
Yeah.
You know?
And in the long term, you know, the fact that your company is looking for a very long-term relationship in the country, it gives a sense of stability. It gives a sense of security also for those who work with you.
Yes.
That look, I can see myself 10, 15 years down the road taking care of my client. At the same time, you know, see some of the benefit that I help some of my clients, you know, achieve their objective in life, right? Seeing their kid go to university, for example.
Yes.
And sometimes certain thing is hard to describe, but it's a very rewarding in the sense that, you know, you feel that you have done something.
Yes.
For not just for yourself, but for society, for your immediate, you know, people that you know. I find it's very encouraging. And Cambodia need this sort of this positive thinking, you know. I believe that after the Khmer Rouge, a lot of self-esteem die off because people just struggle to survive, right? You see now a stronger re-emergence of a feeling of a nationhood, a feeling of community, a feeling of, you know, when people do pro bono services, right?
Yes.
You know, that reflect a lot because it's about, you know, self-confidence. It's about the wanting to contribute something to society. And that's why, you know, when I see company like Manulife, for example, who project to be here for God knows how many decades, it's very different than company who come, you know, because Cambodia have certain trade preference. It's okay, you know. But if 5 years down the road, if a wage go up, they say now we got to move to another country where it's cheaper. Sometimes, you know, it's a bit difficult for staff. To invest in the same company. So I think you're on the right track.
No, I think you make a very good point. And our industry is not unique, but you know, when we go into a country, it's a Cambodian company. I mean, Manulife. This is Manulife Cambodia. And you do become very much part of the community. I mean, our business in Hong Kong has been there for 116 years. And, you know, we have staff who've been with us for 30 and 40 years. And we have customers who started out and then their children bought policies and their grandchildren bought policies. And you're just very much a part of that community. And we also have a social responsibility program as well. Over the last 2 years, we have invested in the road safety area, you know, because that was something that I thought, you know, as I started to understand the health, some of the health issues and the road safety issues, and someone spoke to me about children not having helmets and so on. And so my only insistence was that if we were going to do it, we should actually also give helmets to the mothers and the teachers. Because I thought if the children saw the mothers and teachers wearing a crash helmet,
role modeling is important.
They would do that.
You have to start from the top.
And so you know, many of our staff went down to the schools and talked about road safety, and they were drawing murals about making sure that people understood the rules of road traffic. Riding bicycles to school, so we were donating bicycles for children
with the helmet.
With the helmet. But you know, many of these things are just and they're not difficult to do actually, you know, and we really enjoy them. And then there's the Kuntabuta Hospital, which we've been supporting really since from the very beginning. And so all of that is you know, and that's part of Manulife saying to our Cambodian staff that this is a long-term commitment, and that, you know, we're about health, we're about protecting people's financial future, and also coming down the road, and though it might seem a long way away, is people planning for retirement. How do we save
Yes.
for pensions, you know, because the most important thing that anyone can have in life is choices.
Exactly.
And when people get to the stage of retirement, they need choices of, you know, where they want to live, how they want to live, what lifestyle they're going to live, not dependent upon, you know, whatever's going on in the economy at that time. But all of that requires planning.
Yes.
And so, you know, we are, we'll be helping, you know, and making contribution to MEF, who are obviously very conscious about how they want to develop the industry. And the three current companies that are in Cambodia are working very closely with them. So all of these things, you know, as I say, make our industry slightly unique in that it isn't about staying here for a short period and then saying, well, it's easier to manufacture a product somewhere else. It is actually helping the people save their money, and as the economy grows, so does their ability to invest more money for the future, and our business then also will expand in the same way that it has done in the other ASEAN countries.